Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new NECA Toys 7-inch scale DC Comics Batman Begins Batman figure and Arkham City Harley Quinn figure. Now both of these figures are being released as Toys R Us exclusives, and they are starting to hit shelves now. They come in window boxes with the figures clearly displayed. For the Batman figure, we have that kind of yellow and black background that we saw for Batman Begins. Down below you have an image of the character, the Batman Begins movie logo, and some bats flying in the background. For the Harley Quinn figure, the packaging is designed like her costume, looks almost identical to the packaging we saw with the 18-inch version that they released. Again, down below you have an image of the character and the name. On the sides of the packaging we have images of the figures, and then on the back of the packaging we have bios and a listing of all the accessories that each figure comes with down below. Alright, let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. And a big thanks to Matt for hooking me up with these figures so that I could review them for you. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging along with the other contents. First of all, Batman comes with two different pairs of hands. He gets a pair of closed-fisted hands, and these are the ones that are attached to the figure when you first take it out of the packaging. And then he gets a pair of grip hands. Now these hands are not exactly the same. The right hand has a trigger finger for holding the grapple gun, and then the left hand has a tighter grip for holding the batarangs that he comes with. He comes with two different batarangs. Both are painted with a gold paint, and one is a little bit bigger than the other, and they're sculpted to look like the batarangs he used in Batman Begins. And he also has a grapple gun, and this looks again very much like what we saw in Batman Begins. You've got the gold paint with some black mixed in. I like the sculpting detail on it, and I think it looks again pretty movie accurate. He also comes with this little gun clip, and the best way I've been able to tell this works is what you want to do is you want to take this longer end that sticks out on this, and you want to stick it through the trigger hole of the grapple gun. And then what you do is you just take it and you want to find the wide area of the belt, and you want to, it seems to attach best on the right side of the figure. And if you get the wide end, it should just kind of clip on there so you can store the belt. Also, you've got these two extra pieces here, so I think that might be for holding, like if you wanted to also slide one of the batarangs in there. I don't know if that's technically what it's supposed to be for, but you can if you want to store one of those there as well. And Batman, as long as you have the proper hands on, will hold his weapons nice and tight. Harley Quinn also comes with two different sets of hands. So with Harley, you get a pair of grip hands for holding the Uzis that she comes with, and then a second pair of hands, one hand which is open and the other hand which has a tighter grip for holding the bat that she comes with. And the paint detail on these hands is pretty nice. You've got the one hand with the maroon color with the black checkers, and then the opposite hand has the black glove with the maroon checkers, and then you've got some nail polish on the fingernails, which is nice detail. So switching out the hands with these figures is pretty easy. You just pull off the hand you want to replace. You've got the peg on the hand with these and the hole on the arm, and then you just want to plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it should snap in nice and tight. Harley also comes with a pair of Uzis like you see her used in the video game, and these are done with just a black plastic. There's no real paint applications on these, but I do like the sculpting detail on them. They both look exactly the same. However, I do want to point out with one that you can see the magazine is a little warped. It came out a little, the packaging a little bent, so I'll probably need to take a hairdryer to straighten that out. But otherwise, I think the sculpting detail on these is pretty good. And then finally, Harley comes with her signature bat, and I like the paint detail on this one. You do have some wash effect on the bottom portion for the wood, some lighter and darker brown colors, and you've got some grooves sculpted in there as well, so it definitely looks like a wood bat. And then you've got the red and white stripes on the top part with some purple rings. So I like, again, the sculpting and paint details on this weapon. The figures seem to hold the accessories pretty good as long as you have the right hands in. And you can see with Harley, even with the wider grip hands, she still holds the bat pretty good, and then she definitely holds the Uzi nice and tight. So for the figures themselves, we'll start off looking at the Batman figure, and overall I think the figure looks pretty good. However, with the face sculpt, there is something a little bit off with the eyes. Looks like Batman has been sniffing Scarecrow's fear toxin or something. He definitely has a panic look in the eyes there, and that does throw off the face a little bit. I do think the sculpting on the mask is nice. I like this line work on the skull and everything, and how the ears look. So I think that looks good. Like I said, the only problem I have with the face sculpt is just how the eyes came out looking. I think it looks a little bit off. He's got a soft goods cape, and for a soft goods cape, I think that looks pretty good on the figure. I like how the back of the mask comes down over the cape on the back. And then the sculpting detail on the armor I think is good. You know, basic paint applications, it's just basically a solid black, but I like how the bat symbol sculpted on there, and then all the line work and everything. I like the metallic gold with a little bit of metallic silver mixed in on the utility belt, and then you've got some black here on the front on the belt buckle. But I like how all the pouches and everything are sculpted, even on the back. I think that looks good. Also nice sculpting on the back of the figure, period, with the armor and everything. I think that comes off looking good. The hands look good. Crotch piece looks pretty good. All very movie accurate. The boots and the gloves are a more glossy type black paint. So again, my only complaint with this one is just with the eyes, unfortunately look a little bit off. For Harley, again, I think they've done a pretty good job with the sculpting. I like the face sculpt on this one, though it does look like she kind of has a sad expression as opposed to a happy one. But I think that's kind of fitting for the video game version of Harley. And I like the paint applications on the hair. You've got some wash effect mixed in on the blonde, and then you have the one side that's got the red paint and the other side that's black. And then I like the white paint on her face with the black around her eyes, and I like how the lipstick is done. So I like that detailing. The ponytails you can't actually move, they kind of rotate. I would be kind of careful with these because it looks like you could maybe snap them off fairly easily. So if you're going to move them around and stuff, just use caution. And then for the rest of the outfit, it looks very video game accurate. She's got the tattoo painted on the right arm here, so nice detailing with that. And then she's definitely showing a little bit of cleavage there. And I like the sculpting detail with the buckles and the little ties and everything on her outfit. She's got the belt, and she's got this little chain that hangs off, and that's an actual chain. And the belt is sculpted. And again, she has a tattoo down here on her thigh, or on her midsection. And I like that detailing. And then the paint applications for this figure are pretty solid. No real problems. You got the maroon colors and the blacks. And I like the striping with the brown here. So again, very nice detailing and paint applications on this figure. So between the Batman and Harley, I definitely think the Harley Quinn figure is the nicer looking of the two. So Batman measures at about 7¼ inches tall if you count to the tip of his ears, and then Harley measures at about 6¾ inches tall. So here's a comparison with the DC Collectibles Arkham City 7-inch figure, and I actually like the NECA one over the DC Collectibles one here. Also, here's a comparison with DC Collectibles 7-inch scale Arkham City Batman figure, and I think the scale between these two is pretty good. For Batman, here's a comparison with NECA 7-inch scale Heath Ledger Joker figure. Here's a comparison with the Mafex Dark Knight Rises Batman figure. This is the only other Kristen Bale Batman figure that I own. And then finally, here's a comparison with other 7-inch Batman movie TV figures. So we've got the NECA Adam West Batman figure, we've got the NECA Michael Keaton Batman figure, and then we've got the new DC Collectibles DC Films Ben Affleck Armored Batman figure. For articulation, starting with Harley, you can turn the figure's head to the left and to the right, and she's got some down movement with the head, and she can look back a little bit. Head's attached with the ball joint. Also, as I mentioned before, you can move the pigtails on this one. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so she can get her arm out good, and she's got good rotation there with the arm. She does not have a bicep swivel. Single hinged elbow, so she can only bend her elbow about that much, and then she's got rotation at the elbow. She's got swivels at the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. She's got a midsection joint here down low where basically the vest meets the skin, so she's got good rotation there, and she can kind of bend forward there and can look back there as well. No waist swivel though. Legs attached with ball hinge joints, so she can do the splits good, but she can't do her leg forward very well. That's about as forward as she can get. and then she can kind of do her leg back about that much. She does not have a thigh swivel. She does have a swivel up high though with that ball hinge joint, so you can swivel it there. Then she's got a single hinge knee, so she can bend her knee about that much, and then she also has rotation there at the knee, and then she has hinges on the feet, so she's got some back and forth movement, and she's got rotation with the feet, but she does not have ankle pivot, and then 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. For Batman, you can turn the head to the left and to the right. The mask, the whole mask piece is attached, so the whole mask piece moves, and it's not actually clipped onto the cape, so that doesn't have any effect with the head movement. He can look down a little bit, but not too much, and really can't look back at all, which is actually pretty movie accurate. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out pretty good, and he's got good rotation there at the arm. He does not have a bicep swivel. He has a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much, and then he's got rotation there at the elbow. He's got rotation at the hands, but and he does have hinges on the hands with this one, so he's got some up and down movement with the hands. He's got a midsection joint, so he can rotate there at the midsection. Really no crunch though. He doesn't have any ab type crunch, and then he doesn't have a waist swivel. Legs are attached with ball hinge joints, so he can do the splits good, and he can do his leg forward pretty good, and he can do his leg back, and he's also got that swivel up high. Not what I would call a true thigh swivel, but he does have a swivel up high in the leg. Single hinge knee, so he can bend his knee about that much. He's got rotation at the knee, and then he's got hinges on the feet, so he's got some up and down movement. Does not really have much in the way of rotation because of the way the leg is sculpted, so you can rotate it left and right a little bit, and does not have ankle pivot. And then 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I think these are pretty decent figures. My only complaint comes with the Batman figure and how the eyes are painted on it. I definitely think that throws the look of it off a little bit, but otherwise I think it's a solid sculpt. I like the look of the armor and everything. I like the accessories. And then the Harley Quinn figure I think is nice. I like the paint applications on it, and I think it's an improvement over the DC Collectibles version. Now both of these figures, as I mentioned before, are Toys R Us exclusives, and they are starting to hit shelves now. They cost about $20 each. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.